all praise on the glory too.
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Ruchak Kodash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the all full elect. Lord, we be a part of that number. We're the brothers from the Gym in Best Chicago. Coming in for the Sunday class sit down. You know, we're just going into various topics. You know, can the brother grab that Psalms too? You know, can the brother hold that second Ezra 13 on deck? You know, because I'll let the brother read it first.
You want to start at Psalm 2 and 1?
Yes, sir.
Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
That's right. And that word for rage means to conspire, to plot. You know, and if you read it in the NLT, it's like why are the heathens making futile plans? You know, futile means useless. You know, so these elites, they're making these they build at their space force and they build these weapons to ultimately try to combat the Most High, which is the ultimate form of pride because you're trying to fight your Maker. You know, and that's why the Most High said, if you keep reading.
Verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision.
That's right. Yahweh Shemal Shai is laughing at this prideful ass nigga. You know, this nigga actually thinks he's going to defeat the creator of heaven and earth. And the Most High is just looking at him and he's just laughing. You know, because the Most High know he got him checkmated already. Alright? Hey, you read Daniel 4:17, hey, the Lord said he set up bases of men. The Lord put you in power. The Lord took you out, is gonna take you out of power. You know, you can't control that. That's not in your control. Job 14:5, he said bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, these elites know that they have but a short time. You know, can the brother grab that? You know, because these elites know that they have a short time, and that's why they're constantly, as you said, and that's that spirit of looking over their shoulder. You know? You got it, brother. You got it, man.
God, Revelation.
Yeah.
Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
That's right, you got it.
So, like it says in Job, he has a bounds.
Yeah, I got it right here. Go ahead, break it down. Break that down first, though.
You know, he had two horns like a lamb, but he spake like a dragon. So he knows his time is up, and he's gonna crash out because he knows that it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
This is Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. And, you know, the elder Yashawamba did a lesson talking about how these devils created a device that allows them to look into the future, you know, a certain distance of time. But every time that they get to a certain point in history, which in the video was mentioned, like 2012, around that time, that basically all of the possibilities would converge into one possibility, and there wouldn't be anything that they could do to change what was going to happen next after that point anymore. And, you know, it was going into that. There's a bounds they can't pass. After a certain point in time, you know, there would be nothing that these devils could do to alter the course of anything that was happening, or have a multiple choice of how things were going to go. You know, at least to their own thought. Of course, whatever the Lord wanted to happen was going to happen. But, you know, the way that the machine works is it sets up a simulation. You see the future. You see what would happen if you did this, if you did this, if you did this, to see what you should do based off of what it shows you. They get to that point in the simulation, and then no matter what they do, it's always the same after that. There is no changing it. There is no adjusting it. Now in the video, the guy says that, you know, it was classified information, what the actual outcome that he was trying to prevent. They wouldn't tell him exactly what was happening. They just wanted him to find a way to change it without telling him. But, you know, through the spirit, we know that it's the Lord coming back, and that this place is going to get destroyed. These devils, they only have a certain amount of time to do what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Was the brother holding that second Ezra 13?
Con, I got it. Where you want me to start?
Oh, you start at the top.
Con. This is second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1.
It says, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the return of our Lord Yahushua.
Right. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
That's right. And that man that came out of the sea was Yahushua. You know, it's talking about the heavens. All right, the Hebrew word for Shemayim. You know, you got the first heaven, which is the sky, the second heaven, which is the space, and you got the third heaven, what they call space. And you got the third heaven, which is the spirit world. You know, so Yahushua is going to crack them clouds. It says in Revelation 1-7. All right, he comes with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
That's right.
You know,
and heaven is Israel too, different heavens.
This is verse 6. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. And that's the chariots.
Right.
It says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. You know, the chariot was so large that there was no end. You couldn't see the end of it. You know, it covered the whole sky. And that's how it's going to look when Yahushua comes back. And they've even said that they've had, you know, Esau's got these cameras and stuff that take photos in space. And they said that they saw a chariot flying by the sun that was larger than the earth is, like by a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, I see that video.
yeah, so I mean, we don't know, you know, how mighty or awesome that this chariot is going to look. We can't even imagine it, because it's going to be greater than anything you can imagine. But it's gonna really people are gonna fucking die just from the chariots cracking the sky. That's how crazy it's gonna be. You know, people are just gonna fucking drop dead, and then the Lord gonna bring them niggas back to life and burn their ass. But this is verse 7 or verse 8. Salaki, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
That's right. The Lord is going to harden their heart, just like he hardened Pharaoh's heart. You know, because this is after Babylon is destroyed, man. You know, all these nations are going to be fighting, and then the Lord is going to be like a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord's going to come, they're going to stop fighting. They're going to stop fighting each other. They're going to team up and try to fight against the Lord.
Yeah.
That's why it says, brother, keep that on deck. He had many crowns on his head. You know, are symbolizing him subduing these other nations. You know?
And like the brother said, it's synonymous with how Pharaoh was, because what happened with Pharaoh? The Lord kept hitting him with plagues over and over again and jacking him up. And Pharaoh would say he was going to let Jake go, and then the Lord would put a spirit on him again to not do it. You know, and they would just keep getting jacked up one after another, one after another, one after another. And then the final time when all of the firstborn were killed, they fake let Jake go, and then the Lord put the spirit on him to pursue. And that's when the Lord finally ended their ass, man, and dropped the ocean on them, or the Red Sea on them when we passed through. And then the sea collapsed on top of them niggas, man. This is verse 9. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. And guess what? These chariots are going to be shooting lasers at these niggas, man.
That's right.
You know, it ain't going to be no, like how IUIC got that fake video.
Right.
Like, where Yahushua is on the ground,
Bro.
like
Bloody
Superman
garbage.
fighting these people hand to hand, man. It ain't gonna
Bloody
be nothing like
garbage.
that. Yeah, exactly. That's not how it's gonna happen, man. He ain't even gonna have to stretch his legs on you punk ass niggas, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a nice and easy takeover. This is breathing. Hey, had him breathing heavy in the video and shit, man.
Right. Like what?
Straight folly, bro.
He in his glory. He in his glow. He bro.
That's
not even in
folly,
the
bro.
flesh. And he out of breath. Like that IUIC, man.
Yeah, that shit's
It's
wicked,
fucking-
man.
And no river, no tire. Can't get tired, you know?
Mhm.
That physical body.
I got that revelation. This is Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was.
Salaki. But Todd, could you go to verse 27 and read verse 28 as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
27, 28.
Con.
Con, this is verse 27, 2 Ezra 13, 27. It says, whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation.
All right, that's a whole cut to that little AI film that IUIC made.
Yeah.
You know, had his garment bloody. He was, sweating. Had blood all over. That's
Yeah.
folly, man.
Yeah.
You know, but just using that precept to cut that little AI film, man. You got it, Kadaka.
Con. This is Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of Almighty power. You see, so Yahushua, what he's going to come back and do is to conquer this place, which is why it says that on his head were many crowns, man. All right, when King David, one of the things that King David would do when he conquered the heathen is he put his crown on his head, man. So that was one of the, customs in the ancient world. So Yahushua is going to come and take many crowns, man.
Yeah, they
All
show
right.
that in the movie 300 when
The messenger goes to Sparta in the beginning of the movie, and he is boasting on the Spartans and telling them to surrender. He picks up a chain that has a bunch of skulls of dead kings with their crowns on the skulls, and like holds it up in the air over them, like boasting that we've killed all these kings and taken their crown. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we'll take yours next.
Because Yahushua, he's coming with his authority, man. All right, it says right here that he's called the Word of God, and that the armies which were in heaven followed him. Going back to that in the book of Joshua, it says that the captain of the army's host met him.
Yeah.
All right, so Yahushua, he's the captain of the Lord's armies, man, and he's coming with power. It says that out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations. It shows you really the authority, the position, and the power that Yahushua is going to come with, man. All right, he's going to come with the armies of heaven, and they're going to do his bidding. It says that out of his mouth is going to go a sharp sword. That's the judgment he's going to bring upon these other armies or these other nations gathering against him, man. All right, it's going to be a quick judgment, man. All right, it's not going to be like the Lord is going to struggle trying to fight, fucking tanks and, armies and nah, bro. He's coming with angelic power, man.
this ain't no fucking Hollywood movie, man. Nigga put on a fucking nigga got a shield running around. Edomite with a shield beating up aliens and shit.
There ain't no John Cochran gonna lock him up in jail and all that. No, hell no.
Ain't no fucking Captain America. Captain America's not coming to help you.
Yup. None of that shit.
This is Isaiah 63 from the top. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treaded in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come.
You can break it down, bro.
Yeah, so basically the Lord looking at Edom like, who is this coming from Basra? Who is this guy who traveling in the boldness of his strength? Why are you so proud? And he's basically saying that verbatim, I'm gonna fuck him up. You know, I'm really just stuck on him, and the Lord is speaking in a way. It's like, yeah, it ain't gonna be no hard thing to crush this Edom, this Edom coming from Basra. It's not gonna be a hard fight. It's gonna be a landslide. It's not gonna be a fight. It's gonna be an extermination. It's gonna be a whooping.
You read to where you read to?
To verse 4.
Okay, got it.
I got one real quick. Revelation 17 and 14. Yeah. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Right? And that's Babylon.
Oh, the lamb is Yahweh Shai.
God, Lamb is Yahushua. And verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So these other nations, man, especially Babylon, are going to make war with the Lamb. All right, but when they making war with the Lamb, they gonna be making war with Babylon. So it's gonna be like they gonna be trying to attack Yahushua and the angels. These other nations, they gonna be sending missiles over here in Babylon, man. All right, so while they focus on trying to take down Yahushua, the other nations focus on taking down Babylon. All right, because these other nations hate this place. All right, Trump came out talking about, you know, he's ready for a nuclear war with China, you know, recently. And it's like, they ready too, nigga. Like Joel, like said in Joel, like the other nations say that they are strong. The other nations are calling America's bluff, man. They ready for that, right? They want war, right? So they're gonna make war with the Lamb and his host, which is his army, when he returns, all right? But it's not gonna work, all right? The Lamb was going to overcome these nations, man, all right, these people, because like the scriptures talk about, these people that are going to make war with the Lamb, they are our inheritance. Those people really belong to us. Our enemies really belong to us.
That's right.
Somebody grab it for the brother. Psalms 2.
So it's impossible for them to overcome the Lamb when you are our inheritance. It's just a matter of time before we really own y'all.
This is Psalms 2 and 8. Oh, sorry, 7. Psalms 2 and 7. I will declare the decree. Yeah, 6. Psalms 2 and 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Sion. I will declare the decree. Yahweh hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Right, so we going to inherit the earth. All right, we already had it, and then it was just taken away because rebellion, being rebellion. Like when Adam rebelled, like he basically against the Lord, listening to Eve, all that was just snatched away, and then we was, you know, that breath that Adam had, it was just, now we got to go through so much to get it back. You know what I'm saying? That's why Yahushua came on the scene. Again, we were just going into that lesson earlier today about Yahweh Shai is Adam. You know what I mean? If you can receive that. If you can't, yeah, whatever. But at the end of the day, man, hey, we got to get that breath back for us getting good graces with the Lord, so that when when it's time for the Lord return, we'll be clean. We'll have our garments on. We won't get caught naked. All right. We have to labor into our rest. Like I tell you in the book of Hebrews, 4th chapter. We got to earn our spot, man. All right, because it was given to us, man, and then we lost it. Now we got to get back. But we're gonna go through some extreme stuff to get it. All right, it's gonna, like the scriptures talk about. I think in Daniel, say like a time like never before. Hey man, listen, a normal man ain't gonna be able to handle what's going on out here, man. Before the Lord returns, but definitely afterwards, it's gonna be such a real spiritual warfare, man. You about to see some unthinkable things, man, when the Lord returns, man. Things you thought you'd never see. Shit you saw, like everybody loves anime now. The stuff that people do, they get dressed up, they do all that. They running through an army of people with one sword slashing everybody. You gonna see that for real.
That's right.
You gonna see that for real.
New creatures is an apocalypse or something.
You say we're gonna run through a troop. Come on, man. The Lord gonna renew our strength. Like King David jumped over a whole gate. Like you ever see like those huge gates?
Yeah, like a gate surrounding a city or a fort.
Yeah.
It's your world wall.
Yeah. Like King David jumped over that. You think Jordan's bad motherfucker, man, you know what I'm saying? Vince Carter, imagine jumping over something like that just casually.
Yeah.
Or real quick, who's one of the horn, not the horn, but the ass, face of the ass or the bone, the skull?
Samson.
Samson, yeah. Oh, you just killed like over 1,000 men with one of those?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's coming back. Go
That's
ahead,
right. This is Zechariah 12:8.
In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as Yahweh, and the angel of Yahweh, and Slakia, as the angel of Yahweh before them. So like the elder bro was going into, spiritual power is coming, man. It's coming back. All right? Even what we're doing right now, you know, having understanding of these scriptures, being able to break these things down, these are spiritual gifts that the Lord gave us. But, you know, as things heat up more and things start happening more, the Lord is going to also bless certain brothers with actual physical spiritual powers, the ability to manipulate elements, flight, increased speed, all that type of stuff, man. You know, the shit that these devils make they fake comic books about is really all from the scriptures, man. You know, massive super strength, all that shit. That's coming back, man. You know, that's the only thing that's going to be able to protect us in that day. We don't have anything but Yahweh Shai, man. These devils have armies. They have all that. The whole world is in unison trying to keep us down. We're going to have that, man. And it's going to be mighty when it happens, man. And that's why these devils are haters, man, because they know they ain't going to get it.
Where you want you got Bible?
Con, this is
Before I say we're gonna close out after that one.
okay, Con. This is Wisdom of Solomon 11. Can I start up a little bit?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 15. But for the foolish devices of their wickedness, whereupon being deceived, they worship serpents void of reason and vile beasts. Thou didst send a multitude of unreasonable beasts upon them for vengeance, that they might know that wherewithal a man sinneth, by the same also shall he be punished. For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions, or unknown wild beasts full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes.
Dang.
It says, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroy them.
Going back to the point that Big Group made, man, that in these last days you're going to be seeing things that you've never seen before, because, you know, it's going to be a time like never before in the Lord. It says that he wanted not means means he doesn't lack any means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions. So the Lord doesn't lack the ability to do these things, man. The Lord is in full control of his power, and he could at any time bring such calamities such as these, man. Send bears, fierce lions, unknown wild beasts, all right, newly created beasts, all these different things. The Lord can do all those things, man. All right, the Lord could do those things, and in these last days, we're gonna be seeing things like that, man. Going down right here in Babylon the Great, the beasts are gonna change their locations, man. All right, you're gonna be running into mountain lions pretty soon, man. And a lot of you people, you be scared of mountain lions, you be scared of spiders and all this dumbass shit instead of fearing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, y'all are gonna start running into your worst fears, man. In these last days, for not making the Lord your dread and your fear, you're gonna run into your the fears that you deep down have, man. All right. There's gonna be some very terrible judgments going down in these last days, man. Right before the destruction of Babylon the Great, and finally, you know, the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, man, and the destruction of those armies.
That's right.
You know, all those things everything that's being set up by the Lord right now, you know, the Lord is really holding back, man. All right, because the Lord could really cast down this whole world with a beck, just with one look, one word. But the Lord is doing these things so that us, the children of Israel, may understand that even in judgment, we got to show mercy, man. The Lord could destroy this fucking world in one fucking, just like that, man. But he doesn't do that. He's teaching us a lesson, man. All right. And he's also going to punish Esau, Edom, man, before the whole world, man. The Lord could have punished Esau, but then how would his word be fulfilled, man? All right. All these things have to go down exactly as the scriptures state, man. Bro's got any other precepts?
Young brother, school's out.
And with that, we pray that this was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh.
Once again, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. All right, Kwam Yasharala,
Kwam Yasharala,
Abba Babal,
Abba Babal,
Shalom.
Shalom.